wife. You see how that works? It's a very, very brilliant kind of echoing. So Mozart wrote funeral music for both this field marshal and for Anna Walsegg, Count Walsegg's wife, who is 20 years old and dies. There was a death mask made of Mozart when he died. This was a common practice. They didn't have photographs. There wasn't any way that you could maintain an image, and you knew you were never going to see this person again. So they wanted likenesses of the person, and the way they did that was to create a death mask. Death masks were made of gypsum, which is mined. It's a mined mineral.
Gypsum?
Gypsum, G-Y-P-S-U-M, the mineral gypsum. Count Walsegg had a gypsum factory. How cool is this? So the gypsum made, that Mozart's death mask is made from, is probably material that came from Count Walsegg's mine. I think that's just extraordinary. We know that Mozart's Requiem was not played at Count Walsegg's funeral many years later, because even at that time, most people didn't know yet that he had commissioned it. And whatever his intentions were, he was upset that people were making that piece public when he had intended to own it, and because he had commissioned it. And whatever his intentions were, he was never happy with it. So it was never played at his funeral. I have never seen any evidence that it was played at his wife's memorial either. Now, his wife's memorial that was modeled on the field marshal's mausoleum was destroyed by French troops in the early 1800s who had advanced to Vienna. These were French troops under Napoleon. And those of you who have been in class long enough know that when Schubert was in school in 1809, there was a cannonball from Napoleon's troops that came through the roof. So the troops came right to the city walls in Vienna. Remember, the city walls, the fortress walls, were up until the late 1800s, mid to late 1800s, before those were finally taken down. So Napoleon's troops come right to the outside of Vienna. So they sweep through the suburbs and they destroy Anna Walsegg's mausoleum. Her husband then reinterrs her in a suburb where he is buried. But the reason this is fascinating to me is that when Napoleon himself dies, Mozart's Requiem is played.
Oh, wow. It's messed up.
So Mozart's Requiem is played for Napoleon, who is the person who was responsible for destroying the mausoleum of the person for whom the Requiem was written for and never performed for. Isn't this just too bizarre? Now, why isn't this in the movie is what I'm getting at. So I got to write my own script. You know? I'm going to write Adam Mozart or something, because I'm telling you, this stuff is so cool, the way it interlaces. It's just,
a phenomenal story.
It's a beautiful story, and we're just getting started. It is a fabulous story of how all of this is interrelated. All right? Now, Mozart, when he dies, here's the story. I want to show you two different things. So come on up here a minute so you can see these maps. Gather round. Don't be shy. Gather round. This is Vienna. This is where the city walls were. You see that? How it looks like there's a circle around that. That's called the ring cycle right now, or the ring cycle. That's Wagner. It's the ring circle. It's where the city walls were. You can see it right here in this larger map. See that? And the Stephansdom is right there. That's that major church. When you see any picture of Vienna, that's the steeple you'll see sticking out of there. That's where Mozart's funeral took place. That's where his wedding took place. All right? There's the Stephansdom there. You can't miss it. Here is the Figaro house right at that corner where Mozart wrote The Marriage of Figaro, where he lived right for several years during that time, very, very close to the Stephansdom. He lived over in this area, in the Tiefergraben, and in this area for a while when he was living with his future wife. And then he lived out in the suburbs in a bunch of places, all of which are very well documented, but few of which survive. So when you go in this area, almost nothing survives. He lived on the Judengasse over in here with them, but none of those original houses survive. But still, even walking the streets is pretty cool because you get the feel of what it's like. Now, where Mozart died is right here, the Rauhensteingasse, somewhere right around in there. And that's where the apartment was that he died, right there. It's gone now, and it's now a department store. Like 6th-floor department store is there now, right? And the department store is so big it actually goes across the entire block and ends up on the Kartnerstrasse. And they have these weird things, like little Mozart busts or something, you know what I mean? I mean, they're very self-conscious about the fact. They can't help it, right? I mean, the building was torn down anyway. But they are in this really, really, like, magnificent location from the standpoint of anyone who visits. They want to see this. This is the hotel I always stay in. If you're ever in Vienna, the Kaiser and Elizabeth, right there, is on the location where Mozart first came to Vienna. And right around the corner is where, the Deutsche Orderkirche right there is where he departed finally when he came to Vienna. This is the first place he stayed in the 1781 time, and all of this cool history is right in there. And you're so close to the Stephansdom that you can't miss. That's your spot right there. What a cool place. All right, so far this is the center of the city. Now, when Mozart dies, his body stays for 2 days, or I guess it's 1 day, in the house itself, and then they take him to the Stephansdom where they make the official notations that the body has come, who it is, how old he was, all the notations. There's 2 separate notations of the day that he enters the Stephansdom. From there, he's taken to the St. Mark's Cemetery, which is right here. So the pathway there comes along here, right out there. So there's the Stephansdom. He would shoot right out this gate and down and out this way, very much the way that you go today. What you can see about this cemetery, even from this image, which is why I brought it, is that it's very small, it's not big at all, and it's completely cradled by the Autobahn. Look at this mess of stuff coming in and around it. It completely embraces it on this side. And on this side is all really, really, really heavy industry. All the way down here, these are major kind of production plants. And this is an extremely ugly area. All the way around here, really, really ugly. You're so far away from Vienna, you can't walk. You have to take...
What's the scale?
It's, I think, 9 miles.
Oh.
It's about 9 miles, but it's quite a ways out. It can't be 9 miles, can it? But anyway, it's a ways out, and you take a tram, and the tram takes you just a long time. It's like several stops along here before you finally get here. You never get there by accident, so you won't find any tourists there. It's way too far away. There's nothing else there. There's no other reason for you to be there. And it's going to take you at least an hour to get out there, and an hour back, and all of that. And so there's no reason you'll see anybody, and it's very quiet. And what I want to show you about this ultimately is how remarkable it is, because it's noisy on the outside, noisy, chaotic, hectic. You walk in the gate right there, and boom, total quiet. Birds are singing. You hardly even hear any noise. And it is the most remarkable place you could ever be, just to hang out, be with your thoughts, and see what you think that we were there. My wife, she really didn't want to leave. And it was the two of us alone. We were there completely alone for about 2 hours, just walking around, just kind of like hanging out, getting the sense of what it is. The cemetery was not used after about 1860.